back with round number 5 of our Pioneer event. Still, we have one more round since we are playing a 6-round event here. So we have One How Lu on Amulet Titan and Drew Gross on Crafty Cases. So it'll be a very interesting match for the both of them.
Deck, you know, it finds you it puts cards in your graveyard, finds you combo pieces, and the Eldrazi spawn works really well with Springleaf Drum.
See, so it looks like One How's play out Urza Saga with a play a Vigor. So one of the better cards you can definitely have here. Looks like we also have Explore here for One House. So most likely, maybe we have an untapped land. We can do a little bit of exploring. So we're gonna draw a card here and put a land to play, which is where you kind of want to be here because we might be sitting it for a pretty big turn potentially if we do have the Titan in hand. Maybe adjust the life totals a little bit. It is a little bit wrong. We should be at 20-20 on each end here. So we're now deciding what land to put in for the Explorer.
So One How has the Lotus Field in hand. This is one of those situations where Amulet Titan doesn't actually want to put the land into play because next turn, One How can go grab the second Amulet, and then the Lotus Field represents 6 mana there. It looks like One How does have a Lumra in hand, so you can Lumra next turn. Not much other action. Probably hoping to hit like a Mirror Pool or something. Off the Lumra.
But yeah, Lumra, one of the newest cards to be added to the Imturn deck, basically replacing that Dryad game plan that wasn't really the most reliable of Valkyrie here. But Lumra, along with Analyst, makes the deck kind of scary now if you don't see a Titan. Well, especially if you don't see a Titan. But it looks like we're going to look at the top and see Escape Shift from that bobble.
So that's a lot of mana, but I don't know if there's an... Oh, so Drew kept the one-lander.
Yes, Drew kept the one-lander, but we did draw into a second land here, so maybe it's not the worst. We're going to be fetching here with the Urza Saga for One How. Most likely get another Amulet here, and we might have another bounce land. Let's see.
So One How does have the Lotus Field, so One How is gonna sort of go off here. Because it's Lumra and not a Titan, One How is gonna need to find some other action. But Lumra, Scape Shift. Actually, hold up. Okay, so let's say. Oh no, but One How can't actually Scape Shift here. We're live. So this is very interesting. So there's the One How's gonna get 4 mana here.
So I'm gonna float red-green.
He's gonna play the Grazer to go up to 6, and I assume.
I'm gonna bring this to my hand. So you have red, green colors floating. Sure.
So red, green colorless.
There's 4 here.
We're gonna play a Grazer. Got a second landfall trigger for the turn.
So red, green, and colors floating.
Lotus Field. So Lotus Field is gonna float 6. So it was at 3 mana after the Grazer. Lotus Field is gonna add 6, go to 9. Rule Turf is gonna go to 11. So One How is gonna have 11 mana after this, and no lands in play.
One colorless from the Urza Saga. Yeah, and then I have 2 green.
So it looks Drew out here being all the floating mana tokens here, so you can keep track of it a little bit more visually than trying to rely on One How's pen and paper method.
I was doing it on paper. Okay, so sure. You can just use the paper. Yeah.
So actually, Drew is going to concede to not be using the counters here. He doesn't use the paper here.
Yeah. This was untapped, and I was using
One How explaining
just the green. So
how much mana is left. We're going to see the green. Explaining the green being used for the Grazer here. Trying to clarify how much mana is there.
So One How's gonna have 2 red, 2 green, colorless, and 6 of whatever other colors he wants from the Lotus Field. This is gonna be interesting. You play the Lumra, you get back 3 lands. So you go down to 5, play Lumra, you add 6 from Lotus Field to 11. Growth Turp is +4, 15. Urza Saga is +2, 17. So Winhow's gonna have at least 17 mana here.
I'm gonna use the colorless one.
I think the question here is if Winhow has the scape shifts, right? So Winhow needs
You have to use 2 green.
enough lands in play to find a mirror pool. And then I believe Winhow will have infinite Lumras going forward.
Green and a red. Sure. Okay.
Oh yes, mirror pool.
Because Winhow's going to need a scape shift. Winhow either needs to mill mirror pool here or scape shift into a mirror pool. Okay, so you found the cave. You found Urza's cave, which
Is
Since I have the cave.
where exactly is Urza Cave?
Urza's cave is a very expensive way for you to search for another land. So here, Winhow can actually just search for
So
mirror pool.
2,
And then I believe with mirror pool,
2, 3,
Winhow's
5, 6.
almost infinite. I think Winhow needs a second
Total mana. Yeah.
land to actually go infinite
One
because
bounce and 2 sack triggers. 2 sack
bounce,
triggers, 2 sack. Or sorry, 1 sack. Yeah, for 2 mana.
Lotus makes for 10 mana. Mirror pool costs 5 to activate,
Use untap
including
this
itself.
So actually,
Actually, so that's just
I had
infinite
no
then. If with two
happened, right?
that should
with
be
two
dead, yeah, that
there,
should be
if
dead.
you can sack that.
I don't want to miss that.
So Lumra's in the graveyard. How did Lumra get the graveyard again?
So Lumra goes to the graveyard
So I have
because
Urza's Cave.
there,
here.
with the Lumra trigger on the
Urza's
stack,
Cave.
Winhow had to sack all of his
Yeah,
lands.
I can use Urza's Cave.
I see. So
Two.
ETBs. You mill 4 cards and return lands to the battlefield to the graveyard. From your graveyard tapped.
So this is for
Yeah,
the
because Lumra's a star and its powers is
Oh,
infinite
okay,
creatures,
okay.
right?
Yes.
With the Lumra trigger on the stack,
okay, these will untap.
Winhow had to sack everything to Lotus Field, and
Which
so
means Lumra
the
died.
Lumra dies this because of state based. So Winhow's gonna
Search with the Urza's Cave.
search with the Urzas.
Then it should be in the mirror pool, right? Then it copies the Lumra.
No, so here he needs to grab Port of Carfel because Lumra is in the graveyard.
Oh.
So
So we have Port of Cartfell. Let's see. This is the land where it adds black, blue, 3 colorless sacrifice part from mill 4 cards and return creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
But that should be
So we're gonna
I can just kill you.
I'll shuffle next time.
Yeah, yeah. So I can. Yeah. So I just need to resolve these triggers
Sure.
after floating the mana. So I
So
can just
both players working out, resolving a couple of triggers on the stack here.
does Urza's Saga put it into play or into the hand? Or Urza's Cave?
Urza's. Let's double check here. Urza's Cave.
Enchantment, sorcery, creature, land.
Yeah.
Oh.
So actually, that's the easier way to do it.
Urza Cave puts the land into the battlefield tapped.
Oh, I'll
So
just kill you with
the port has to be in play. I don't know why it's in Winhow's hand.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna keep making green.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so Winhow, I guess Winhow bounced it with the Gruul
With
Turf
Gruul
trigger.
Turf.
With the Gruul Turf.
Yeah, I think we did the Groove trigger bounce to hand because we still have those triggers on the stack.
Yeah. That's why are you bouncing it to hand? You don't have a land drop anymore unless he has like another.
still bounce.
Yeah.
Then we all.
No.
Oh, we bounced mirror pool, not mirror pool. We bounced
I made too much green. I'm gonna.
that.
Okay.
Make some blue.
What?
You want to undo stuff.
You can do that with. this.
I think we call Judge here for a moment.
I think the Porter Carfel needs to be in
And
hand,
then sack triggers.
or the Porter
Be on-
Carfel needs to
be
be
battlefield.
on the battlefield because
Yes.
that's what Current Cave does.
Yeah, so let's try to. We can maybe try to stop him out there. Yes, just try to get out there and try to stop him. The Port coverage.
Using 3 green.
Or is that Teleria
I
West?
might have that.
Is that Teleria or Port Carfell?
But that's.
Let's double check real quick.
Yes.
Is there a Porter Carfel in your hand?
There's a what?
Porter Carfel in your hand? Okay. How did the Teleria West get into your hand?
I.
Tutored it with Urza's Cave, then bounced it.
Oh. Yeah, I bounced it using.
The Gruul Turf.
Okay.
So I'm out you out here just clarifying, double checking how we're getting the multiple bounce trigger.
Ah.
Sorry. Yes. I did this bounce and I forgot that I resolved this bounce trigger.
Yes.
So this should have been here. Okay.
Okay.
All Alright.
You
It
can,
should
you
have
can
been.
still search. It's fine.
Do you guys want to call it?
Yeah, we can call a judge. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so Manager was going to be calling Judge here. Double checking because we did resolve the bounce trigger, not bouncing
So,
Teleria West when
on
Teleria's
my
supposed to be in the
turn with
hand.
my Lotus Field
So it's a bit
triggers,
interesting.
I had
Sick.
returned the Teleria West with my Dual Turf trigger, and I forgot that I did this trigger already, and I put the Crumbling this in my hand.
And you, oh, sorry, you forgot you did the.
I forgot I
Judge
already
being
used my
called
trigger,
here,
my return a land
we're
trigger with Dual Turf.
double checking what the ruling is because we did resolve the bounce
where's the
trigger, if
Teleria
I'm
West
correct.
The Teleria
Yeah,
West
it looks
came in,
like the Talaria West was bounced the hand,
so it went
but
onto the battlefield.
Wenhao
Okay.
also had an extra bounce
Alright,
trigger and put
so
the
this
crumbling
was
bird,
returned to my
crumbling
hand.
vistage
I-
into
Okay,
hand
so
as
yeah,
well.
I shouldn't have
When
returned this to
Wenhao
my hand. I
should
actually
not, yeah,
basically
that's
resolved
what
the
Wenhao says.
trigger
He should not
twice.
have returned the crumbling vistage to
Okay,
hand.
so but the Teleria West is not in your hand right now.
Well,
when-
it was
when-
in my hand, and then I put this in my hand when I shouldn't have.
Okay, but we revealed the Teleria West.
Yes.
It was, yeah,
When
it was
went
in
to-
play. It was in play from
It was
a
in
tutor.
play, and then
It was
he
in
put
play
it.
from the,
So
the
both players working out with the judge
Oh, no,
here.
so, I'm sorry.
Aim and Titan with
I
the
think
judge
the
calls.
timeline of this.
Pretty classic
This all
so far the
happened
last two
right
RCQs.
Yeah.
With
Yes. There's
Some fescue things happening here with
I
these
think you wanted
AMC
to
players.
in Wenhao's defense, this is a very complicated
Yes,
deck
this-
with a lot of triggers
Yeah.
going on at the same
It's
time.
definitely not an easy deck to play,
Well, I mean,
especially when
there's
playing
no-
small things like
you-
this
you
does
did
happen.
resolve that trigger.
So
Resolve
we're just
on
double
this.
checking.
On this.
So
Not
judges
this. I did
working
this
out with the
after.
players.
Okay, so what did you resolve it? Well, so
On
what did you
this.
accidentally? So you did resolve
Yeah.
it. Okay,
The
so that should
problem
be
is that this was in my hand by accident because the card itself didn't matter.
This card doesn't change
Okay.
anything.
Like I accidentally
sorry.
triggered this twice on this one after.
So what was the first one? What was the
The
first?
first one he picked up was the Teleria West.
Okay, and so that's what I mean. That's it.
Yeah.
We're done from there.
Yeah,
right?
we're done from here.
Okay, so now we're on okay board state.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Everything's fine.
Okay, everything's fine. Fantastic. Okay, I didn't know if there was something I needed to fix.
I don't think so.
No, we don't. I don't think we.
Okay.
I assume the fix is this just stays in
It
play.
was an out
Very
of
good.
order thing because I did a sorcery speed.
It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no penalties here. Just
Okay.
play more carefully.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
You can do your channel.
So it looks like the board state has been resolved to a legal game state.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have the Teleris happen with the Summoners patch. We're going to search now for our probably Amulet Titan?
So you probably don't
Or,
want
yeah,
to-
we're searching for a Titan now.
That means I'm going to play Titan.
He's gonna grab Titan. He's gonna grab, I believe, the first one is gonna be the haste cards, and then he'll mirror pool
Green, green,
Titan.
blue, floating.
Okay.
So there's regularly now green, and blue floating from Wenhao.
Yeah.
So we're going to be having ETB trigger on that Titan here, searching about 2 more lands. Can we just tilt? We can just kill this turn, right?
Yes. Generally speaking, Amulet Titan with 2,
If I do mirror
a Primeval Titan, mirror pool. If you're playing the current builds of Amulet Titan with mirror pool, 2 amulets in play is deterministically lethal.
which means I can do vestige.
So we are getting. What are the 2 lands we're getting here from the Primeval Titan here? I'm seeing the Boros Garrison, if I'm correct? If it's even playing that deck before?
No, so these decks no longer play Boros Garrison. They're gonna play the red-green bounce land and Hanwar Garrison
Yes, Handwar.
instead of Slayer Stronghold.
Okay. I mean, yeah, Handwar makes it really, really big out of nowhere, and then potentially just one shots you.
Yeah, this is gonna be a one shot. Because in there are many lethal lines here. Wenhao could probably make infinite Titans. Wenhao could also make infinite mana, grab a Kessig Wolf Run, and then Wolf Run for lethal.
That is all come down to what is Wenhao going to play here. What is the line he's going to choose of many?
Bounce land and shifting
Let's
woodland.
see. So the shifting woodlands also is being looked at here.
So this
So
would
we're
be
getting a balance and shifting woodlands here. So that probably means we're going to do the Lumra route again.
So I do think you need Shifting Woodlands for the combo, but I'm surprised he's getting the Shifting Woodland this early. What does the Shifting Woodland even copy here?
I can't think of anything besides Lumra.
Hey, come on, you gotta choose something.
It has to be.
Or we still haven't decided yet, so we're going to double check and get a Lotus Field in.
Okay.
And Shifting Woodlands.
So I don't know why Wenhao is.
So this is gonna float 6 6 green.
Does Wenhao have another piece of action in hand? Because this doesn't.
Floats 1 green.
This will flow 1.
This currently does
So I have
nothing.
8.
Yes.
And now
This
I'm gonna
signals
sack.
that not. I mean, I wonder what could be in hand that can enable a win here. Because what if you're gonna?
Does Wenhao have analyst? I would imagine he has analyst if he's.
It's a explore.
It's an
Oh,
Two lands to
explore.
sacrifice.
Yes, I still have 2 lands to sack.
What is this accomplishing? So
I-
only one land. You only can copy Lumra, but
Yeah, you can't haste the
Yeah.
Titan. If you have an explore. Yeah, I don't know exactly what you're
Well, I
doing
mean,
here.
I'm just gonna put it down for now.
Okay.
so we are just gonna put the deck down for now. Oh no, sorry, it's escape shift, not We have escape shift in hand. I forgot. It's this-
Oh, he has this
yeah.
escape shift.
We
so-
saw the escape shift from the Mox from the Mishra's Bauble.
Right,
And
right.
that's so it's escape shift in hand.
Okay.
So you can still give the Titan haste with the amount of mana you have. But I think it's a really complicated line that didn't need to happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this line.
Yeah,
but
because you're gonna copy the Lumra, right?
yeah.
When you copy Lumra,
Wenhao does need to take some game actions here.
Yes, I have 1 pack trigger.
Yes.
I'm gonna make it easy. All right,
Okay.
go.
You're letting. All right. I'll draw for turn.
All right.
we passed their turn
Okay.
with
Not to lose. I'm sorry.
we passed the turn
I'll play a stolen turn.
with a pack trigger on the stack next turn.
The pack trigger is
Fine,
fine,
but like we could have
that
probably
does.
outright run there. You're nothing, no piece interaction for Drew.
I'm pretty sure that was deterministically a win at some Wenhao.
If knowing Titan decks, if you get to that point where you have that much flame mana and everything, I think you'll just win. Getting the ship the Wilderness is pretty interesting here because you can't even copy anything with it. And you could justify all that because since you have escape shift in hand, you could potentially still get the win, give the Titan haste, but not do anything was pretty interesting.
Yeah, because I'm
Wenhao
pretty sure if
side.
Wenhao just grabbed an Aftermath Analyst or something instead of the Titan, he had enough mana floating to just
Play.
use Aftermath Analyst, buy back Lotus Field a couple of times, and then he'd probably just win from there. But
So it looks like we're gonna have a grinding station, Underworld Breach from Malevolent Realm will come out here from Drew.
so Drew has Grinding Station.
Okay.
He has the. Drew has Grinding Station. Drew has the Amulet, or not the Amulet, the Mox, and the Underworld Breach. So technically, Drew does have lethal.
Next turn?
The next turn. Yeah, because what's gonna end up happening is Drew is gonna play Underworld Breach, play the Mox, mill the Mox, and keep on milling 3 cards. Drew, I believe, has enough cards in his graveyard so he can cast a Tamiyo or an Emery for 1 mana. After doing that, the Mox now nets mana, and so Drew will start floating blue mana every time he does this loop until he mills out, in which case he can cast the
Going deep is
Thoracle. There is a chance it doesn't necessarily work out because if Drew does mill the Thoracle, I don't know if Drew can actually go off. I think Drew needs the Thoracle to be below like an Emery or a Tamiyo in order to go off here.
It's an Urza's Cave. Okay.
So we're gonna have Equities come in as an Urza's Cave.
Tapped.
Yep.
So this will be a colorless mana.
Colorless.
Interesting.
Colorless flooding.
Sure.
I'm gonna go to combat.
Sure.
So we got all the fully mana. We're gonna attack. Have a trigger. Gonna search now. So what's the line gonna happen here? Because I don't think Wenhao can. Wenhao even win this turn.
No, I don't think Wenhao can win anymore. So if you grab like, so if you grab Lotus, Port of Carfel, you can bring back Lumra. You can sack both Lotus Fields. Then you have to hope to hit a Mirror Pool to keep going.
And is that usually like a one-up or a multi-copy in the deck?
They usually only run 1 Mirror Pool. So, but that I think that's the only way to actually
Before
guarantee. Okay, so Wenhao is just going for the 2 turn here.
Okay.
I'll make red.
So we're gonna have
6 red and another colorless.
6 green, 6 red.
6 green. You can do 6 green and 6 red. Right?
6 green and then 6 red. Yeah.
6 red.
No, you get 6 total, not 6 green and 6 red.
No,
And that's a wolf run,
untap will
right?
make six-
In
sorry,
play?
three-
Yes.
3 green, then
3 green, 3 red. There you
Yeah,
go.
so that's a Kesset War run, so
and then so
we're gonna
1, 2,
have this be a
8.
12?
No, this was only 1.
Or sorry,
So he's
1,
got
2.
1, 2.
Okay, 1, 2.
So he's gonna pump for 6
Yeah,
here.
so 12 damage this turn.
You have 10
Not
now.
12. That's still not lethal. She's gonna go to 6.
Yeah.
She's gonna go to 6, and then
Jesus Christ.
When how? I mean, Drew's asking like, how much damage is it gonna be, and when I'm trying to just figure it out.
so Wenhao does need to resolve his Lotus Field trigger.
Yes.
You're not even dead. So, 2.
Wenhao does seem a little bit flustered here, so I don't know if Wenhao is playing completely optimally.
Yeah, because I don't know if he realized that he had the win last turn.
So that is just 14.
Yeah.
But also too, if Drew just lives past a turn, Drew can just win on the spot. Correct?
Yes, Drew has. I don't know the percentages, but there is a chance Drew will just win on his
Okay,
turn.
I'll take 14.
So
I'm gonna.
You still have to sacrifice 2 lands.
Yeah, I'm gonna sacrifice 2 lands.
Okay.
so there's resolving the Lotus Field trigger. When I'm trying to decide which 2 lands to sack, looks to be maybe the Equity's copy Urza's Cave, and maybe the bounce land.
These 2.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
Alright.
I'm not gonna do it.
We're
so-
over.
A
We're
little
like
bit of a
half our time
complicated
on, like, 2
situation
turns.
here, so we're
Yep.
are gonna get rid of that Equity's copying the Urza's Cave
8. Wait,
with the
8.
Simic,
You mean 6?
Sorry, 6.
Okay. I'm at 12.
and just 6 damage to Drew.
I'm gonna.
Go down to 12.
Okay, so technically,
Escape shift.
Oh, wait.
We're gonna escape shift.
okay. So Wenhao can do the infinite mana loop here, I believe. He's gonna.
Prestige or the Wara and Simic Grill Chamber.
Hold up. Is Wenhao getting 3 lands here? Which lands did he sacrifice?
Lotus Field, Kessid, Wolfred.
8 mana
Lotus
and a
Field,
bounce.
Castle Front. Okay.
Sure.
So we are going to
First one.
probably bounce Berseju.
I guess you're just bouncing Beseju and then.
So the first untap for this.
Yeah, you have 4 mana. 2 green, 2 blue.
Don't
Let's see.
Bounce Beseju, blow up.
it's gonna.
Grinding
Grinding
Station. Oh, we're actually going to use Odawara.
Okay, that.
Wait, why is it in hand?
Did he put Odawara in hand?
Yes.
That's too much magic to
Odawara should not be in hand.
Odawara should be discarded if
Yes.
it was bounced.
We might need to go out again and do that. Because we did bounce Grinding Station.
Mox Amber.
So we're going to go out again real quick. Try to stop this.
No 4.
Sorry, was the grinding station bounced?
Yes.
Yes.
What is in your hand, Wenhao?
Oh. Go ahead.
Just had to clarify that real quick here. So Drew out here is gonna play the Mox and the Emery. But how I think he's pretty flustered right now. But he's pretty stressed as of right now. But let's let pass go. Mill with Emery. We're gonna mill a Mox.
You got a bobble, 3 lands.
Yeah.
So Drew currently doesn't have the 4th land here, and doesn't have a second Mox in the graveyard. So because Drew didn't play the grind station again, I don't believe
I don't need to wait.
I don't believe Drew can win on his turn.
Yeah. So we're gonna attack now with the Titan here. Have a trigger off. Potentially have another way to pump the Titan for a win. Actually, no, because you have to have someone give it trample to even get through the Emery. So you might just be attacking anyway just for maybe potential damage.
Mirror pool.
But we're gonna get a Mirror Pool. So that's the card that we were talking about earlier. That is just a 1-up in the deck.
So this is gonna
So
Allow me-
trigger
it's gonna
on
have
the
a bounce trigger in hand.
stack with the Simic Growth Chamber. So mirror pool, it's
before this bounce
exactly
trigger, this will
the
make
wording on
at
this
least
card.
four.
It's about if you're
Copy.
2 mana
We're gonna
tap, 2 mana colorless tap,
You need
sacrifice mirror pool, copy target instant from
Five,
spell you
2, 3,
control. You
4,
may choose new
5.
target, or you play for the 6/3 sacrifice and create a token of card of target creature you control. So it looks like we're gonna make a copy of the Amulet Titan during combat. ETB trigger.
And then there's still a bounce trigger.
yes.
We still have a bounce trigger on the stack as well.
So you can bounce the Viseju. Viseju is pretty good to have in hand for the breach.
Yeah, I mean, definitely what card you want to have, but we can get a Shifting Woodland. Interesting. Shifting Woodland along with a Basuba? Is Woodland plus Azura really the play?
This would be a shifting with them.
Wait,
We're having Basuba enter as a copy of Shifting Woodland here.
Huh.
I don't think you can copy something that's entering the same
Oh,
time.
that's true. That's true. You cannot. It'll be a Simic Growth.
Okay, so we're gonna have it copy as a Simple Go Chain
So
because
first bounce trigger. I'm just gonna.
can you actually not have it enter as a copy at the same time? No, because they don't see itself, do they?
The second bounce trigger. I'm just gonna bring the super back to hand.
Basuba, let's see.
Copy of.
Yep, that's fine.
Enter as a copy of land on the battlefield.
It's no, it's
Can't have that
Nope.
happen, so it's a Simic Growth Chamber.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Bounce the Visuva.
And then
You
Drew,
bounce the Visuva, bounce the Viseju.
play land.
and Drew takes 6, going down to 6 now. So Drew's will potentially have another turn before lethal is presented next turn.
So
Can't. How can Drew get out this?
I don't actually know if Drew can win this turn through a Viseju.
Yes, his Besage you can just take out that Underworld Breach, or even the grinding station as well. We're gonna play.
Wait, but when how? Okay.
Sadly, I know.
When how does have that Simic Growth Chamber on taps, correct? Technically.
Let's float a blue mana.
Yes.
Tap Emery.
It should be on top technically, right? Because we didn't use it to buff
so that
anything.
would
We just
bring
used
it
the
back to
sack.
battlefield, correct?
It lets me cast it.
Lets me cast it. Sure.
Or cast it. Keep the untapped.
So we're casting a Mox from graveyard.
Okay, so Drew technically does have 4 mana here, so he can go Breach, Grinding Station.
With blue floating.
With the floating, we're gonna play.
Yeah, I have two. I have blue floating. I'll leave this untapped.
Yeah.
With the blue and green, I will.
Okay.
Malevolent Rumble comes out. Interesting.
So there's a ring and a land. You can play land.
Yeah, so we can get our land per turn. We have some spawns.
It's interesting.
I'll shock the Seedlings to play.
We're gonna shock it, go down to 4.
Still don't know if this is enough.
Man,
Because the Breach is going to get Besaged.
let's have a way to replay this. Maybe we're aiming to play the One Ring?
I'll use.
One ring will buy him a turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we are gonna play, looking to play the One Ring here, because you do get an extra turn here at least. One How can get some triggers off with the Amulet Titans.
Colorless and blue to cast Grinding Station.
We're playing Grind Station though.
Okay, so you have 2 left.
I have these untapped lands left.
Sure.
Yeah,
In
Drew
response
kinda had-
to the own untap, I'll sack to mill myself for 3.
So that. Okay, sure. So.
I'm tapping the mill 3 here.
Yeah.
So this is on the stack.
There's an untapped trigger on the stack, yes.
That's fine.
But it untaps.
So that untaps. So Drew is gonna play the breach. I'm pretty sure this one. Drew is gonna play the breach. He's gonna get
Yes.
Besaged,
I
and
think in response to the Besage, you're gonna try to go off.
No
he
floating.
cannot because everything he can play is at instant sorcery speed.
I'll
So
cast Underworld Breach.
So we are going
Have a
to
mana, you have Mox.
Yeah.
play Underworld Breach.
so there is a way Wenhao could mess up if Wenhao goes for the grinding station here.
Response.
Yeah, because you want to be Besage during the Underworld Breach and not the Grinding Station.
Yeah. So Wenhao has to
So we all know Besiege the Breach.
Breach here.
I think we're just dead next turn, right?
Yeah, it looks like we're dead next turn. Drew does not have a second. Yep, Drew packs it up.
Yeah, so Drew's gonna pack it up here. Game number 1 finally over from the Amulet Titan play here.
Oh my gosh.
15 minutes left in the round. A lot of judge calls, a lot of stuff's happening, and what how could have won on that turn number 3?
I'm pretty sure that there was a line to win there. I think the issue was when How decided to go get Titan instead of something like Analyst to keep milling, because I think the idea there should have been try to get as much mana as possible instead of going for the Titan line. But oh well, so it goes.
Yeah, so that's really interesting how that plays out, because I'm not too sure. I mean, well, a lot of the times when Titan does something, most of the time people scoop it up here, but because when I didn't even find the win there, it was pretty interesting. But Drew on the grinding station here most likely has the negate in the sideboard to deal with some of this, but also deal with some of the cards, and one house deck like the Escape Shift. Also as well, we maybe can have a way to reliably get the Underworld Breach out even more.
We're boring the audience.
But so Matt actually stepped out to leave, so we actually now have a Kira on the cast with me, being our color caster here. How you doing, Kira?
All right, I have no idea what's going on in this matchup. I'm jumping in straight into the middle of sideboarding. What's going on, Kyle?
So what happens is Amulet Titan versus Grinding Station. We are comboing off. And we're gonna do a couple judge calls here with the one how.
Oh,
And we're doing a little bit of mis-sequencing, like, oh, we're bouncing the wrong lands and everything. Extra
see.
triggers. Also, one how most likely had a chance to win on turn number 3 and did not go that route. So, and Drew, I mean, is just trying to play the hand out, do what Grinding Station does, get the combo going, get the ball rolling in this. Kind of watch from there. But
2 minutes.
man, what's with all these Amulet Titan players? You know, potentially always doing some shady stuff on stream.
yeah.
Just not
I mean, the deck is
It's so complicated. The deck
yeah, the deck is very complicated. So give them a break a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely gotta give these players a break, because there's so many lines to go through. There's so many ways to.
There's just so many triggers.
Yeah, especially now since you're playing Lumra.
Yeah.
The amount of things you can do is like, oh, it's a lot more than before, especially when you used to run Dryad. But we're just getting right into game number 2 here. Both players are sideboarding. And
Why-
looks
why
like
we got,
resolving mulligans.
Well, we got Ting Fang saying saucy thing in the chat over here.
Yeah, so don't mess with Ting Fang here. He's just been questionable all the time. One how looking to mulligan, looks like Drew is
So,
keeping on the play.
Are you familiar with Grinding Station?
I was concerned that I wasn't familiar with Grinding Station, especially since it started splashing green. But after watching the gameplay, I'll actually listen to Matt as you talk a little more. It's still the same old Grinding Station that I know. It's just
I
not
see.
a rumble that can really help with the acceleration a bit.
Yeah, I'm kind of not familiar with Grinding Station. I kind of know what Time does, but like some of the line changes with the new changes to the deck.
Yeah, I mean, I was very, very familiar with Titan, and then they added Lumra, and then the lines changed. The win cons are completely different at times. So
Yeah, it's a crazy war out here. So look like
a bobble on turn 1 from Drew. We can look at the top there. Looks like we have double consigned memory with the Underworld Breach, and I'm not sure what the other colorless card in hand is.
ooh,
Double Mox maybe?
I
Looks like it
can't
could
tell
be-
what that is.
Yeah, it could be pitch double Mox. We're gonna have the Urza's
Yeah,
Camp
but
come
like-
out here from one how. We're gonna have the Expedition Rat come out here, and we're gonna consign.
Oh, just consigning it.
Yeah, we're gonna consign it already, making sure that one how can not potentially curve out here. Looks like I have an Explorer in hand as well. Man, last game, you weren't here. One how Explorer on turn number 2, and only had a Lotus Field in hand. So
Oh.
didn't actually want to play it out.
That's kind of funny.
So declined to put a land in here to draw that card, which is a little bit awkward. But now Drew being on the
I think
play
he's on
here.
on the play.
Yeah, Drew here
Oh, I
on the
see,
play
I
is
see,
very
okay.
important here. Looks like actually could be a Mox with a Springleaf Drum.
This double mox.
But we kept another one-lander for Drew here. Last Drew was one turn away from basically essentially winning because of what when how misplay was a little bit. We're gonna call it misplay because we're not too sure if we actually had the win or not. But we're actually gonna play out the Explorer from when how. I'm gonna draw that card and play out the Echoing Deeps.
Yep.
Copy Steam Vents.
Coming. Oh, this is, you said copy Steam Vents?
Yes.
I see. Yes. I mean, it kind of inconsequential what he copies.
Yeah. Pass go again from Drew. Drew into a consignment memory again. So it looks like we have double a hand.
Yeah, I think
This is very
Drew.
hard sentence to say there.
Yeah, I think Drew is just playing control here.
Yeah, I mean, Drew is. If you're on the grind station plane, you're on the Liberty control plane. I do know there is negates in the sideboard for Drew, which is a little bit interesting.
Oh, sacrifice Echoing Deeps to Crumbling Vestige?
Oh no, it's copying Misty Rainforest. Not Steam Vents.
Oh,
so it's copying Misty
interesting.
Rainforest. You're gonna get the commercial district
Oh,
here.
it's just one of the surveil land, I see.
Yeah.
Very
Actually, 'cause I
interesting,
think
very interesting.
It has to be in graveyard, right?
Yeah, it can be
Yes.
either on the field or in the graveyard.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So
And in any graveyard too, so.
we're gonna surveil here. We're gonna potentially keep it on top. Maybe you want to surveil it away. We have double spunking in hand though. Two.
I mean, you're just trying to put a bunch of land into play here, right?
Do we have floating mana?
We do have a.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Wait, did
draw
we play spunky for 2 or 3 there?
3. We have the floating mana from.
Oh
Vestige,
yes, yeah, floating mana from Edge. Okay. I
So-
forgot that is when Hal uses the pen and paper, it doesn't want to use the floating mana tokens
Yeah.
we have. So some of the mana tracking last game was a little bit complicated, but
I mean, it's just proper procedure, right?
yeah. So spunky in play here, one of those replacements for
So that is Ruled
Amulet.
Turf, bouncing back the. Boseiju, I believe.
We're still in the one lane here. We have Emery in hand, but Pascal again. Drew's still on one lane. We're turn number 3 now.
I mean, nothing you can really do. I mean, you still have those consigned memory for like whatever Wenhow's trying to do here. Maybe consign like a Titan trigger. But I think Wenhow have a Scape Shift in hand.
Yeah, when has the Scape Shift in the hand here, along with a Summoner's Pact. So maybe
Maybe
try.
Spelunking too. That's a lot of mana he can make. Yeah, that's a ton of mana.
So we're gonna start packing.
Sure.
Yeah, we packed for Titan here.
Maybe he might go for the Lumra as well.
I mean, you have Scape Shift. You can go Lumra, right?
Yes. If you have Scape Shift, you can just
Just
go
like
Lumra.
you Scape Shift,
Oh, let's.
make a bunch of mana with Spelunking.
You could be also going for the Analyst here, which
Ooh.
it is going to be Analyst. Where
I like this line.
Yeah, last game he kind of went for the Analyst and won the game on the spot, but I think because last game he got Summoners Pact into Primeval Titan, he actually couldn't win on the spot. It was pretty interesting. But so we have the Analyst coming in the hand. We're gonna play the land for turn, which should be a Mirror Pool.
Yep. Miracle.
So we're gonna tap the 3 mana with the
So that's
Ursa
4,
5.
5, 6 mana, I believe.
6 mana.
Floating red.
Yeah, 6 mana.
Floating red. Escape Shift.
Scape Shift. So notably, all the lands from Scape Shift gonna come in untapped because of Spelunking. With 2 mana floating, you can play Analyst, and then activate Analyst with all the untapped land that you got from the Scape Shift, and I just started comboing, I guess.
Looks like we had the Force of Vigors coming from the sideboard here. Also the Bajuga Bog as well.
Oh.
Well, went on design. Maybe I don't want to play this land out, but we are going to show that the Bajuga Bog is in the board. Let's see the lands. So mostly can get the Urza Saga, but maybe a couple of bounce lands. Maybe get the Wolf Run as well.
I don't see a reason for Wolf Run. I think you just get like Lotus Field here. You can guess you're just trying to get as much mana as possible here, and with the Analyst in hand, you can get back these Lotus Field and just like keep going.
Rating Confound's a bit interesting because I do know that it's played in the sideboard mainly. Bringing in versus grinding station is kind of weird. You're not really getting beat down by the grinding station deck.
I mean, they kill you with infinite damage, so
They can. Well, grinding station the main win con is mill yourself out, play Thassa's Oracle.
oh that too, yeah. But like,
I don't think this version's gonna be playing the damage because I think the whole deck is try to win as fast as possible turn 2, turn 3.
yeah, this is like turn 6 and Oh, like turn 4, right?
This
I
is
think
turn
it's
4.
turn 4.
This is turn 4 for Wen Hao. So
So,
we're gonna get from the
Saga,
6 lands
Lotus.
from the escape shift, right? We're gonna get a Saga, Lotus, Radiant Fountain, Simic Orchard, and Shifting Woodland.
So shifting woodland here can become the analyst after you sacrifice it.
Because what, you sacrifice, get all your lands back?
Yeah, you sacrifice it, get all your lands back.
Let me double check the wording on analyst here. Wen Hao should be at 21 health. Somehow I keep on looking up the
That's
Espanol
yeah,
versions.
Espanol version.
Every time somehow, but after that analyst, it's 4 mana, sacrifice it, and return all lands from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. But with this bunking, it all comes untapped.
All right, so we're gonna resolve ETB trigger here. So we have a bounce trigger off of the Simic Growth Chamber, and a sacrifice 2 trigger from Lotus Field. So look like Wen Hao floating 5, 6, 7 mana. So 3 from Lotus Field, 2 from Growth Chambers, 5, and 2 1 mana 7. Yeah, 7 mana floating with the 2 he got from earlier. So 9 mana, access to 9 mana. Still have an analyst and a untapped shifting woodland.
Yeah, so we're gonna be sacking with the Lotus Field itself, and the Urza Saga, and then the bounce trigger. We're gonna bounce the Radiant Fountain. So we have a lot of mana floating here. Play out the analyst. You're gonna mill 3 cards on the ETB trigger here.
Yeah, this is a lot of mana because now with the Echoing Deeps, you're basically getting 2 Lotus Field every time you bring back all your lands here.
1 green, 1 blue, 1 red, 2 colors.
So Drew, I don't know you. These consign just like not doing anything.
Yeah, so let's see. The 3.
Oh my
triple
God.
land from the mill.
Triple land from the land.
Beseju and double bounce land. It's pretty damn good. So we're gonna
Oh.
use the mana floating here to sacrifice analyst and get all these lands
That's
back.
so much mana.
So we have a lot of triggers on the stack here, so we might be here for quite a bit.
Yeah, we're gonna watch Wen Hao perform this this combo here, and we're trying to commentate where we can.
Yeah, I think most of the time when the end time goes off, we basically become a podcast talking about what we want, and then, it's player 1 most of the time. But so all the triggers on the stack here, I think they're trying to figure out what to resolve first.
Just think 3 bounce trigger and 2 Lotus Field trigger and 1 Crumbling Vestige trigger.
Yep.
Oh man,
So
that's a. What's going on? Someone save me.
Just like that, the board state is very complicated with just lands. So
All right, so we're gonna float mana before we resolve any trigger here. What is that land?
Here's this cave.
Oh, there's this cave. Okay, I see.
So we're going to.
I think I'm pretty good on color requirements right now.
What does he? We know he have a Boseiju in hand. So can you just start Boseiju looping, Drew? Here.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I don't know how many basic Drew run in his deck.
I think you're on maybe 1 or 2 on the guiding station. I'm not too sure exactly. But we'll start floating the mana here before we start sacrificing again.
12, 13, 14, 15.
I think he's at 15 mana.
Yeah, 15. Just try to
and
listen a
then
little bit
sacrifice trigger.
These will be at,
Sack those 4. All right.
I'm gonna consign one of your sacrifice triggers.
Consign.
There's only 2 lands, yeah.
okay.
Oh.
Consigning a stack trigger does throw off the math a little bit. That could fluster Wen Hao a bit, but I don't think he maybe not care. Maybe he doesn't care.
Wait, no, but you. Okay, you consign one of the sacrifice triggers, so Wen Hao can get to choose what to sacrifice. Ended up putting the 2 Lotus Field and Echoing Deeps into the graveyard.
I still have Delirium.
Delirium was active still. It's very important for the woodlands.
Yep, very important. Still have 3 bounce trigger that he need to resolve.
Yes. So, but still instant speed. We're gonna be doing the aftermath analyst, and Drew is just gonna
Drew
soup it
just
up.
doesn't want to play it out,
So.
and that is very reasonable for Drew.
So Wen Hao gonna take it 2-0 versus the grinding station deck.